public or private, that you get to that particular organization and you not see an accountant there? You tell me. Huh? Oh, are you with me or you against me? Because I came late, so you against me, eh? You won't go to heaven, no. All right. Yes. Is it an organization like that? No. In almost every organization, you see accountant there. Why do you see accountant there? And why are they there? Yes. Why? You are telling you see accountant there, but you don't see HR. You see director, accountant, finish. That's all. Why? Yes, honorable. Money matters are, thank you. Thank you. You have passed. This course you have passed. Money matters are very, very what? Serious. Almost every organization will have accountant. An accountant are there to be able to manage particularly the financial resources of the organization. And we are saying that if you are here for this particular program, for this particular course, at the end of the day, we are going to promote you to become a director. When you say you have MBA and the rest, when you now have MBA and you are promoted as a director, you must understand what accountants do. But the purpose of this particular course that we are doing is for us to get a deeper, broader, wider insight into the operations of accountants, into the activities of accountants, so that we can appreciate what they do and understand them better. That is the essence, the purpose, the goal of this particular course. We must understand the language of accountants, because on daily basis, we deal with accountants almost every day. Oh, go to accountant, collect the check. Tell accountant to write the check. Tell accountant to do this one, almost on daily basis. Oh, we want to procure a particular item, accountant. We want to pay this person, accountant. We want to take money from this person, accountant. We want to prepare financial report, accountant. Everything is what? Accountant. Do you understand accountant, their language? Accounting is referred to as a language of business. Almost all of us here, one way or the other, we are in business. The kind of work that we are doing, whether it's a public sector or private sector, it's all about what? Business. And so when we say accounting is regarded as a language of business, what do we mean? We say that because it provides standardized way of communicating financial information. Communicating financial information. Communication is key, very central, critical in almost every organization. And one of the central things in every organization is about communicating financial information. Yes, Doc, I'm here. So you are all fine. Your students are fine. So relax. Enjoy yourself. Good. You are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, all we are saying is that the essence of this course, when you become a director or manager somewhere, you will always be dealing with accountants. Are you okay? Do you understand their language? When accountant comes to you and say, oh, this is the sales ledger, do you understand as a director? Or you are just there. When accountant comes and say, this is the checkbook, this is the financial statement, these are the journals, these are the, what do you call it, the debit note, the credit note. Then you are there as a manager, and then you are asking accountant, what is credit note? And what is debit note? Understand the language of accountants so that you can appreciate their work. In fact, you must understand the entire business process of accountants. You must understand what they do. We are saying that go and take over the job of accountant. I don't know if you are getting the whole argument. The essence of this call is that you must understand, because you cannot do without accountant in the organization. Is there anybody who can challenge me that for me, I can do without accountant in an organization? Is there anybody who can challenge me? Any challenger? No challenge. So if you are going to be dealing with accountant on daily basis, then you must understand their language. You must understand their language. So that when they come to you and they mention certain things, oh, I understand. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. If they prepare a check and then you are supposed to sign the check, you are looking at what? The necessary document, attachment, and so on. to see whether everything is sufficient, adequate before you go ahead and sign. And that makes you a very effective manager, efficient manager, a better manager. And that is the essence of the course. So if you want to be better manager, you want to be an effective and efficient manager, good manager, everybody says, oh, this particular director is up to task. Then you must learn the language of what? Accountant. And it's so key, very, very important. So everybody here, whether you are doing HR or MIS or procurement or public administration or accounting itself or HR, you must know something about what? Accounting. So that when we have meeting, when we have management meeting and accountants are talking and you are HR, you understand them. And then you can also contribute to whatever they are saying. When we are management meeting and you are the manager of IT and accountant is using a particular language and is talking, until you understand, then you can contribute. You appreciate what they do. So what we are coming to learn is all about the duties, the entire business process of what? Accounting. When we understand, we can communicate with them without any difficulty, without any problem, without anything. It is very easy. So that is the bottom line of our discussion. So accounting as a language will help in communication of what? Financial what? Performance. Financial performance. Accounting as a language will help us in communicating what? The financial performance of the entity. What is the financial performance? Are we doing well? When we measure our performance, can we say that, oh, this year we have done better than last year? Performance. And at the very basic level, if you are talking about communicating your performance to your stakeholders, your performance, you are looking at what you do, particularly if it is a trading organization. You want to assess the performance of the organization. It is your statement of what? Financial performance, which is what? Your profit or loss statement. That will determine whether you are doing well or not. Whether you are doing well or not. So, as a language, it helps us in communicating our what? Performance to the stakeholders. Again, it helps us in assessing the financial position. This one, at a very fundamental level, we think it is balance sheet. It helps us to be able to assess the financial position of the organization. And also, cash flow. How do we manage our cash flows? These are accounting terms, and you need to learn them, because as you become a manager or a director one day, you say, I've finished, I'm done with my MBA. And then there's a meeting, and accountant is saying, oh, cash flow management. You know something about cash flow management. He's communicating, and he's using the language of cash flow. It is not over there that will be saying, accountant, can you expatiate or can you explain what you mean by cash flow management? No. Then why are you with us in the meeting? We expect that now that you are a manager, you should know these things. When we talk about budgeting and forecasting, it's also a way of communicating. You should understand that particular language. And this is where you will learn it. This is where you get it. When we say budget, when an accountant comes out and say, oh, we are going to prepare our budget for next year. And so we need A, B, C, D to prepare the budget. You too, you can understand, oh, before we can spend, we need to prepare a budget. And the budget will help us regulate our expenditure and so on. So if we want to regulate our expenditure in the foreseeable future, in the next year, we need to prepare a budget. What do you think? We need to understand investment analysis. Oh, we have so much cash, idle cash. Or we have gotten some money, we want to invest. What do we mean? Accountant will tell us, you must understand. So it helps us in all these areas. Regulatory what? Compliance. Accountant helps a lot in communicating this particular information to us. We must understand all these things. Very important. Very, very essential. So we must understand the duties of accountant. So, yes. Yes. It's not clear to you. Don't worry. We will come and go deeper and deeper So you'll be clear. All we are saying is that these are some of the languages that accountants talk about. When we say accounting as a language, number one, it helps us in communicating the financial performance of the organization. Cash flow. Let me just talk briefly about it. We are saying cash what? Flow. How cash comes in terms of what? All kinds of what? Revenue. How cash comes in terms of all kinds of what? Revenue or sales. How? If it's a typical trading organization, there are various means by which you can what? Generate what? Revenue. Through majorly through what? Your trading stock and so on. Revenue is generated. That's how cash comes in. If it's a public sector organization, normally we know that it's a public sector organization. How do we receive cash? From the central government or from IGF, internally generated what? Fund. Or again, we can categorize them into two different. We have tax revenue and also what? Non-tax revenue. They are all means of generating what? How cash is coming in the public sector. Again, in the public sector, cash flow, cash coming in, cash going out. Even in the public sector, how do we spend cash? Cash going out, cash flow. Oh, we spend some on what? Compensation, discretionary expenditure, as well as what? Discretionary expenditure and what? Statutory what? Expenditure. Which one of them is discretionary? Which one of them is what? Statutory. So you look at the two. Cash going out. So at a very basic level, senior, when we say cash flow, accountants are saying, how do we generate cash? If it's a private organization, normally or usually it is through what? The revenue, sales, that or turnover. How do we spend? It is through the purchases and so on, and the payment of expenses and so on. Cash flow. And this one, at a very basic level, we are looking at only actual cash going out and actual cash what? Coming in. At a very basic level. Only actual cash. Here we are not talking about accrual concept. We'll come and look at some of the concepts. Are you okay? So cash flow, what is it that is coming in? And how does it come in? How often does it come in? We analyze it. So when if you are at a meeting and then all of a sudden accountant say, our cash flow in terms of revenue is coming down. You should understand what it means. You should understand what it means. And so on. So as we go through, we'll be making references to some of these terms. We say cash flow, budget, forecasting, investment analysis, all these things at a managerial strategic level. You must understand these terms. You cannot say that, I'm a director of IT, and you don't understand when you say budget. You don't understand budget. When you say investment, you don't understand what we mean by investment. No, not at all. You must understand these things. Yes. So, senior, are you okay? So for now, you don't worry. We will come and do cash flow, proper cash flow. You relax, Relax. Good. So you communicate performance, You are looking at the income statement. How do you communicate the performance? Now you are all working. Every one of us, we are working. So we want to ask ourselves at the end of the day, as a team, are we doing better? It is the income statement that will tell us whether we are doing better or not. You, the HR, you want to find out, as an entity, as an organization, as a company, are we doing well? It is what? The accountant that will tell us whether we are doing well or not. In terms of what? Our performance. And so on. IT, you want to find out, as a company, you are the director of IT. Are we doing well? Accountant will have to communicate. If you don't understand his language, you know there's no way you appreciate what he's doing. So that is what we are saying. Communicating financial performance, all these, assessing financial position. Here we are talking about what? Your balance sheet and so on. Do we have a very sound financial position to be able to maybe procure funds and so on? We'll come and look at the cash flow. Budget, and that involves creating financial plans for future periods. As directors, managers, you must understand these terms. Good. Investment analysis, investor view financial ratios and all that. So when we talk of this is what we mean. Good. So in summary, accounting serves as the language of business by standardizing how financial information is what? Number one, recorded. Very important. How financial information is recorded. We'll come and look at these things one by one as summarized and what? Communicated. That is very important. This standardized language enables stakeholders to make informed decisions, assess financial health, plan and control of operation, analyze the investment, and also ensure what? Compliance with regulations and so on. So that is just about that. Good. Good. Now, at a very basic level, when we say accounting, what do we mean? It says accounting is a systematic process. So we are going to learn this process, the entire business process of accounting and the work accountants do so that we can appreciate them. And so when an accountant comes and is calling for pay rise and so on, you understand what they do. So you can say, yes, we support accountant. Now, accountant is taking 1,000 Ghana. With what he's doing, let's increase, and he's calling for increment in salary. Oh, let's give him so and so. So account is a systematic process of identifying, number one, recording, classifying, summarizing, interpreting. So all these communities are what accountants do. So to you, when we say accountant is identifying a particular transaction, business event, business activity, what do we mean? When accountant is recording, what do we mean? Is this so essential? Is it so important for accountant to do recording? When we say recording, when accountants are recording, what do they record? And how do they go about it? They're recording, classifying. Understand all these things. But you are moving higher. And you are moving higher. Oh, I want to be a director. Understand what accountants do. Because you are going to be dealing with them on daily basis in the organization. So you must understand what they do. Summarizing, interpreting financial information to provide information to decision what? Making. All these things that we do with the ultimate objective, with the sole goal of what? Providing information for stakeholders for decision what? Making. That is what we. So it involves measurement, processing, communicating financial and also non-financial. So it is not only financial information, also what? Non-financial information. This one talks about the various components and the elements in the accounting language or in accounting take into consideration in their work should be something that is what? Relevant. Number one, we are looking at activities that involve flow of what? Cash. Cash. Flow of cash. But that one is very, very what? Relevant. So accountant must take note of that. Good. When it comes to recording, what do we mean? Entering the financial information into the accounting system. Very important, very critical, very indispensable. This one, you can't do without it. Recording. Recording. Recording is the basic, is the foundation of accounting. If you don't record, there's no way you can progress or go on with accounting process. And what is the output? Hey, our professor has come. Is it time? We have just started, Prof. And what happened is this. We're thinking that you will start the, since that was what happened last week. So, that was the problem. That was the problem. So we're thinking that even yesterday I was with him and we said the same thing. He said you will start, then he will come before. So I was the last lecture. Yesterday I was with him. Yes.
The timetable has been the same as that.
So that was the problem. So we just started. So you just give us some 30 minutes.
So they will not have.
No. For now, today they don't have snack for now. Yes. Hey, please relax. Accounting is everything. Accounting is snack also. So when you are studying accounting, you are enjoying your snack. So let's enjoy our snack. Another wonderful what the component of accounting is recording. And recording is very, very important. It's the foundation of accounting. Before you can get the output, there should be an input. And this is the input. The output is the financial statement. The financial statement. The component of a financial statement. Statement of financial performance. Statement of financial position. Statement of cash flow. Statement of changes in equity, and so on. Note to the account. These are the outputs. These are what? The outputs. How do you get the output? Summarized at the end of the day, so that you can use it for decision making. It starts from recording. So after you have identified the relevant, essential, important, indispensable transactions that are connected and related to the business activity that you need to record, the next thing is what? You do the recording. Put in all the inputs, and then you process. You come and look at the process. What goes into the processing before we get what? The output. Know these things, and then you will be fine. Entering the financial information, and then this includes documentation, which is very, very, very important. Documentation. We'll come and look at it. Then we'll talk of what? Classifying and grouping similar types of what? Transaction into categories. This is typically done using a chart of accounts, which organizes transaction into different accounts: cash flow, accounts receivable, sales revenue, and so on. Then finally, we'll talk about summarizing, that aggregating the information recorded in accounting system, and so on and so forth. Good. Interpreting. When you get the final product, the output, you don't need to interpret the output so that the interested stakeholders can use it for decision making. Very important. At a very basic level, we need to also know the difference between bookkeeping and also accounting. Some of us here, we don't know, particularly those of us who are doing accounting for the first time. And you'll be hearing the word bookkeeping, and also accounting. So at a very basic level, what do we mean when we say bookkeeping and also accounting? Bookkeeping and accounting are two foundational processes in the financial management of a business, but they serve different purposes. And to come in the exam, that distinguish between bookkeeping and accounting. You, a word to a wise, is here in this room. Good. So we are saying that bookkeeping is the process of number one, recording. The process of recording. What word is there? Everybody, what word is there? Daily, every day, continuously, consistently. You must record business transactions that are connected, that are relevant to the business. So daily financial transactions in a consistent and systematic manner. It involves maintaining accurate, consistent records of all financial activities, such as your sales, your purchases, your receipts, payments, and everything. Daily, any activity that is relating to sales, purchases, receipts, and payment on daily basis must be recorded. Bookkeeping. Again, bookkeeping is narrower in scope compared to accounting. Narrow. Accounting is broad. Bookkeeping is narrow. It focuses basically on the day-to-day. Again, so look, in the exam, even if you don't know anything and you have forgotten all that we are talking about, the moment you say day-to-day, you get all the marks. That is all. Because, you see, at this level, some of you have never done accounting. So I don't expect you to write the technical things. I want you is to get the knowledge, get the basis. Are you okay? So you can just write day-to-day, daily, day-to-day. That is all about bookkeeping. And know that, yes, you have been here. Are you fine? After this course, nobody will fail. Except you have decided that, no, fail me. Like the way some students will do. You are making a script, then the script is saying, I want to fail. You are saying, don't fail. The script is saying, I want to fail. You fail me. Then you'll be struggling with the script. Don't do that, okay? Let your script tell me that. Give me A+. Give me A+. Then I say, oh, you have done well. So take the A+. Take the A+. And then you are fine. So bookkeeping is very narrow. Accounting is broad. Again, what are the key activities? Number one, again, recording financial transactions. Basic fundamental financial transactions. Then you posting debit and credit. So all this kind of double entry, it is all about what? Bookkeeping. Hello. It's all about what? Bookkeeping. So the double entry system of accounting, where you post debit and credit to appropriate accounts in the ledger, is bookkeeping. Maintaining and so please know the difference between a bookkeeper and an accountant. Are you okay? You. Maintaining and balancing ledgers, accounts, and subsidiaries, and so on. Preparing initial trial balances. These are the key activities involved in what do you call it, bookkeeping. Then, when you talk of skills, you need basic skills. So, someone with SSS background in accounting can be a bookkeeper. Someone with diploma in accounting can also be a bookkeeper at a very, minimum qualification now to be an accounts clerk is diploma in accounting, and so on. These are the skills, attention to the proficiency in some of these softwares, and so on and so forth. Then you can be a bookkeeper. At the end of the day, the bookkeeper's duty responsibility is to produce this report, this output, and what is it? Journals, trial balances, and a basic financial report. This is the output that should come from a bookkeeper. So if you are a bookkeeper, you have a very minimum or low qualification in accounting. That is maybe diploma in accounting or DBS, and they call it diploma in business studies, accounting option. Good. Accounting proper, what do we mean? Again, we say that it's a process of, number one, summarizing, interpreting, and communicating financial information. Here we are talking about what? Now we have moved higher. Accounting is what? Higher. So accountant, you are not summarizing, interpreting, and communicating financial information. It's about analyzing financial data. It involves analyzing at this level as an accountant, chartered accountant. What is your duty? What is your responsibility? You have to analyze financial data, prepare financial statements, and provide insight, interpret. So we are saying that when it comes to accounting, we are talking about analyzing what? Financial data. And this one, you need someone with very high knowledge in what? Accounting. Deep knowledge in accounting to be able to analyze financial data and prepare financial statements and provide or interpret for decision making. So that is about this. The scope of accounting is broader than bookkeeping, and it encompasses the entire process. The entire process of what? Financial management, including bookkeeping and its what? Foundation. So accounting is the mother, is the universal. Accounting is what? The mother, the universal, the umbrella. Then within the umbrella, within the mother, we have what? We have bookkeeping. Are you okay? Good. These are the key activities: preparing and analyzing financial statements, performing adjusting entries, conducting audits and financial analysis, developing and implementing financial strategies, ensuring compliance to accounting standards, providing financial advice, and what? Strategic what? Planning. Strategic planning. Providing financial advice. So most of the times, we have chartered accountants who are involved in these things. In fact, by our law, the CA law, if you are not chartered, if you have not gone through the mill by writing exams, you cannot call yourself accountant. You can even have PhD in accounting. You can have what? PhD in accounting. You cannot call yourself accountant until you go through the mill, you write the exams, and then we qualify you and say, oh, master, you are qualified. Then you can say you are accountant. Then when you are accountant, you can provide all these essential activities. Advanced knowledge is needed, analytical, interpretive skills, proficiency, and all this, understanding all this. These are the output. At the end of the day, we expect you to provide us with comprehensive financial what? Statement. Comprehensive financial statement, detailed financial analysis and report. You should be able to do that. Oh, you call yourself a chartered accountant, you should be able to do this. And those of us who are not accountants also, you should know what accountants are supposed to what? Provide. When you have become a director, you should know what your accountant is supposed to provide for the purpose of what? Decision making. Financial statement. You should know the component of what? Financial statement and so on. These are the key differences between what? Accounting and what? Bookkeeping. Time will fail us to just go through all of them, but we'll give you the slides. So on your own, you can go through all this. They are very easy. The aspects, what it means, the definition of bookkeeping, accounting, the differences. In terms of scope, this one is narrow, this one is broader, key activities, recording, and so on. The skills required. This is just a summary of all that we have talked about. So, yes. Oh, so so I should just relax. All right. Is there I should come down? All right. Don't worry. So while bookkeeping and accounting are closely related and often overlap, they are distinct processes with different objectives and responsibilities. So we say that bookkeeping lays the groundwork, by ensuring that financial transactions are accurately what? Recorded. Accurately recorded. While accounting builds on this foundation to analyze and interpret financial data. So bookkeeping lays the foundation and then accounting continues. It will come in the exams. It will come in the exams. Another thing that will come in the exam is this one. I don't want to hide these things from you. You are my wonderful, wonderful brothers and sisters. I cannot hide these things from you. So if I say to come in the exam, please note it down so that the day we are ending lectures, then you will remind me and say, sir, remember you said this one too will come in the exams. All right. So we are the components of what? Financial statement. When we say component of financial statement, what do we mean? Please, all we are learning here is to play with some of these things so that you can understand them. Component of a financial statement. You are a director and you are going to meet Public Accounts Committee. And the Public Account Committee says, when you are coming to the committee, bring your financial statement. A director, your background is IT, or your background is procurement or public administration. And you don't know anything about the financial statement of your entity, then I fear you. If you are a director, you are going to meet investors and you don't know anything about the element or the component, major component of financial statement to carry along, I fear you. Then what kind of director are you? I remember some years ago, we went for an audit, and then we said that, oh, Madam Headmistress, we have come for audit. So we are going to have entrance conference. So tell your accountant and other management staff to come so that we have entrance conference. And then we brief them about our duties and our responsibility, what we are supposed to do, and so on. Headmistress said, I am not accountant. And so accountant is your people. So go to your. Then I said, Headmistress, accountant is not the head of this particular institution. Today, if there is something that is happening in the organization, financial or otherwise, you will be the one that will be held responsible. So I have not come to audit the accountant, I have come to audit you. Therefore, Headmistress, bring the financial statement and so on. Then she was looking at it. She doesn't even know what is financial statement. What a shame. And me, I did education. You did education. Then in the classroom, you are the administrator. You did education. In the classroom, continue to teach. Don't come to administration and say that I want to be a headmistress. And you are headmistress, you don't know anything about accounting. And then you are there. The public accounts committee is coming. Then, go and meet your people. Accountant, are you there? Go and meet your people. No, you are not coming to meet that. You are there. Component of financial statement. Number one, we are talking about the basic component. Number one is, we call it statement of financial what? Position. Statement of financial what? Position. When we say statement of financial position, what do we mean? Please understand this particular language. Statement of financial position is normally referred to as the balance sheet that provides snapshot of an organization's financial position as at a specific point in time. It consists of three major components. It consists of what? Three major components. What are the components? Number one, assets. If you take a financial position, we are looking at what? Your asset. Remember, statement of financial position is a major component of the financial statement. And under the statement of financial position, we have elements of what? The financial statement. And one of the elements is assets. Again, when you talk of assets, please, these definitions are just basic. They are not professional definitions because of the nature of class. If we are teaching CA, there's a definition that is professional when it comes to what? Definition of an asset. If it comes to CA, the Institute of Chartered Accountant. So at our level, I don't know all of us are having accounting background. So this one is good for us and very simple. If it's an asset, what do we mean? Resources owned by the company that have economic value and can provide what? Future benefits. Future benefit. That is an asset. And then these assets again are classified into two. What we call current asset and also what? Non-current asset. HR, if you don't know this one, know it. What is current asset? Asset expected to be converted into cash or used within 1 year. We call it what? We call it current asset. What is fixed asset or non-current asset? Long-term investment that are not expected to be converted into cash within 1 year. And you can see the examples. We talk of property, plant, equipment, intangible assets, long-term investment. So the one that you cannot easily, conveniently, comfortably convert into cash within a year is regarded as what? Non-current asset. Like your generators, your plant, your property, your building, your land, and the rest. If you want to know more about this, when you go back to your institution, maybe on Monday, and you want to know more about long-term asset or non-current asset, to your accountant. As an accountant, I'm just from MBA accounting class. Accountant, what is non-current assets? If an accountant knows non-current assets, he will tell you this is non-current assets. Accountant, okay, give me an example of what? Non-current assets. It's a way of also trying to revise, learn all these things. And in the exams, you'll be examining on some of these things. All I want to tell you is that there is a difference between component of a financial statement and element of what? A financial statement. The components are, number one, statement of what? Financial position. And in every component, we have elements. When you take, for example, statement of financial position, the main number one element there is what? Asset. That is number one. And these assets are divided into what? Two. The current asset and also what? Non-current assets. Are we okay? So if you say cash, yes, my dear. Yes. Ah, thank you. Thank you. You are the best and you have passed already. Yes. You look at it, it's a very wonderful question. Now, human beings, are we assets? Hola. Hello. The workers of an organization, are they assets to the organization? Hello. Are they assets to the organization? Are they assets or they are liabilities? Hello. Okay. How many of you are saying that the workers in the organization, they are assets? Raise your hand. You believe they are their assets. Oh, okay. Wonderful hands. Wonderful, wonderful hands. Thank you. How many of you say they are not assets? They are not assets. Raise your hand. Oh, okay. Okay. Now, how many of you are not for assets? You are not for not assets. There are some people like that. They are, for them, they are not inside, they are not outside. They are, how many of you are like that? Huh? Non-aligned. Aha. Why do you say now? Justify what? Your answer. It's just like one of my colleagues some years ago, chartered accountant. He was called and for an interview. When he went for the interview, then they asked him a very basic fundamental question in accounting. What was the question? They said that in one of these oil and gas companies, about so many years ago, about 10 or 15 years ago. So they asked him that cash is a fact. Profit is an opinion. Do you agree or disagree? Then they say, if you agree, justify the answer. Or if you disagree too. Profit is an opinion, cash is a fact. And this was the question. And this, my friend, a chartered accountant, they were going to pay, I think, $10,000 that time, a month. Yes. Even now, $10,000. Look at it. And they asked him this question. And this guy was just struggling to answer. Eventually, he lost the job. Chartered accountant. It's a very basic question in accounting. But if you are not well versed, grounded, and sound in accounting, it will beat you. I'm telling you. If you don't know the basics, it will beat you. And that's how he lost the job. Now, let's come back to that. When we are in accounting class, we'll talk more about that. Now, we are just at the ordinary accounting class. So if you are in proper accounting class, we'll talk about that. We'll come to that. Now, she asked a very intelligent question, which has, I think, where is the asset? Resources that are, do you own human beings? Do you own them? Can you control them? In fact, the professional definition of an asset says that an asset must be owned and controlled. Out of which future economic event must be what? Must flow to the entity. That is the professional definition. You must own it and control it. Can you control human beings? If I come to work today, tomorrow I say I won't come again. Can you force me and say, hey, you say you are coming to work here. If you don't come again, we will arrest you. Can you do that? Except the person is under bond. Apart from that, no way. If I come today and say, oh, today, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, you know me, I like talking. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll start wrapping up. So it means that next week, instead of 8 o'clock, we'll start at 6. So that we can talk after 11, then we'll finish. He's a timekeeper. He said I should do fast and run away with this my long talk. So don't worry. So we are saying, honorable, please. The issue is about own. You don't own human being. You must what? Own and control. Are you okay? So in terms of assets, even your children cry, You can't control them. You can't say they are for me, therefore you want to control. No, it's not possible. So in this case, we are looking at the word own and what? Control. Yes, senior. You bet to differ. All right. Human resource accounting. Okay.
Employees, even though you don't own them by, let's say, in terms of human beings, but you own them to the extent that if they feel that they are in the office, they are completely they are working within the rules and regulations of the company. And
all right.
They are also part of the resources that say that they when you bring all the machines and everything that
that is wonderful, but the point here is this: whatever we are doing in accounting is regulated. It's a regulated profession. And when we say regulation, what do we mean? There are standards. Are you okay? If you take the original manuscript of the conceptual framework and it talks about assets, it talks about the fact that you must have what? You must own the asset. You should control the asset. And number two, who can tell me number two? Value, money. At the end of the day, when you are acquiring the property, what value can we measure it? Should be what? Measurable. Can we measure it? And then apart from that, can you put it in your financial statement? I have bought human beings. This is the value. And so this is how much you have spent on the purchase of human beings, their assets. If you are providing other essential non-financial reports, human resource is part of it. Then you can include the value. But there's no way you can get the value of human being and put it in your financial statement. So when it comes to the definition, according to the original manuscript of the conceptual framework of assets, from what do you call it? We have international financial reporting standards that regulate the conduct and the practice of accountants worldwide. That is those in the private sector. In the public sector, we are what we call IPSAS, International Public Sector Accounting Standard. It's not a standard that regulates the conduct and the practice of accountants worldwide. Just like International Financial Reporting Standard and International Accounting Standard that controls the activities of what? Accountants worldwide and so on. These are the standards that guides us into these things. When you take, for example, assets, and you want to define what an asset is, go to the standard, go to the Bible. What is the Bible telling us about what an asset is? So the Bible says that the Bible of the accountant says that, which is the standard that we are all supposed to go by, says that an asset should be owned and controlled by an entity, out of which future economic, benefit are supposed to flow to the entity. Are you okay? And number two, that particular asset must be what? Measured and valued. Senior. So we are talking, when we say hire, what are we talking about? And you pay for it. It becomes an expense. You don't own it. If you are hiring, is it for you? And I'm saying that when you hire an asset, don't you pay for hiring? It's an expense. So it can never be something that you own. Honorable. You're going to return. It's just like you rent a car. For example, there's a project I'm currently doing. My car is having a problem. So I have to go and rent a car. And then for that particular project, we'll go from this place to the other place. At the end of the day, we pay them. I don't own it. It's an expenditure. Are we okay? And that expenditure will be covered as an element under one major component of what? Statement of financial performance. Yes, Chief. That is why I appreciate this discussion. Yes, because we are all of a different what background. Are you okay? But here, the one in charge is the accountant. Accountant is saying, in our profession, when we say accountant, this is what we mean. You can have your own definition or whatever about. In fact, the dictionary definition of an asset is not this one. Are you okay? The dictionary definition of account of an asset is not this one. It's completely different from this. The accountant says that for you to say this particular item is an asset, then it must have these features, these characteristics, these key elements before we can say that, oh, this one is an asset. And where can we get that? Go to the Bible. What is the Bible saying? So anything is short of what Bible has described, which is the conceptual framework, zero. Your definition is perfect. You are allowed. But then, what is our profession saying? The teachers will tell you that, oh, when we say curriculum development, this is what we mean. When we say data analysis and interpretation in statistics, this is what we mean, and so on. Yes, Chief. Yeah. Add. They are hiring. Come again? No. You see, this lady, she is very good. Always asking very good questions, thought-provoking questions. Can that be termed as what? Intangible. That cannot be termed as a. You see, I told you the last time that when the people teacher is teaching and the professor is coming, what must you do? You have to run away. So let's welcome professor to the floor. People teacher. We have ended and next weekend we'll talk about yours. So professor, let's clap for prof. So don't worry, we'll continue the day. It's a very interesting one. So please don't forget, and when we can next time, just tell us so that we can go. Thank you. No, slides, I'll give you next week. We are not done yet. The slides you take in next week, please. So relax. I say relax, senior. Relax. Take your time. Bro, sorry. Honestly speaking, I was just in the house. In fact, if I had known, I would have been. I was just there until SO called me and I said, because it was even yesterday, I was with Dean, and Dean was saying that when you are done, so Dean says that when you are done with your lectures this morning, then he will come so that I will take the final one, and whatever time, he said me, I like talking. So whatever time I want to finish, then I can finish. I'm a finisher. Really, I'm sure he forgot. No, it is
The
there.
same timetable we have.
So it means that next week,
From
8 to 10, no problem. Uh, I'm sure you forgot. No, I really discussed. If he had, in fact, you was aware, you like alerted me and said, no, you start. So sorry. Okay. Thank you, sir. Mhm. Yes. Before I even carry it away.
That's good. Did you do economics or the government said it? Yes, yes. Yeah. I remember that. However, and do my day. I don't know. Because the time table might change. Don't want next week. Don't want next week. One in trial, one last week, man, dying. That's much.